All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. Yeah. We are still without a goddamn intro, but I just belch. Hashtag I'm professional. The show must go on. I'm going to figure it out there, fuck faces. Getting the meat of today's rotted sandwich, fuckface Frank Turek. Now, I've said it once, I'll say it for a billionth time. My least favorite style of apologetics is pre-sup. My least favorite apologist is fuckface Frank Turek. Again, that it's I don't even know what to compare it to. The man is just an absolute decrepit piece of shit. And again, apologetics only attracts the worst of us. Again, if when looking for a club to sign up for and someone tells you, yo, this is what we're all about, and you read that script, you see the company tagline, you read the mission statement, and you say, sign me up, that's on you. That is on you, right? And the fuckface just really stands out for some reason. That's just the worst amongst them. And again, just what a colossal piece of shit. Again, you cannot walk into a room without addressing him as Dr. Frank Turek. Smart enough to defend a dissertation, but not smart enough to define the word good. Right? Again, all these word games and the blase and the glavinoids, it all amounts to fucking nothing. And I remember doing a show on it a while back when we still had the old channel. And it was my very first introduction to Turek. And again, 9.5 minutes. Basically the exact same amount of time it took for Derek Chauvin to snuff out George Floyd. That little girl got up there. And a very simple fucking question, gang. And this was long before I truly was able to wrap my mind around the decrepit nature of apologetics. Simple question. Hey, fuckface Frank Turek, I don't believe in a God, but I'm a good person. Am I going to go to hell? 9.5 minutes later, he had not answered that girl's question. What do you mean by good? Well, I'm decent. What do you mean by decent? Then just, again, go fuck yourself. Who plays these games? And when I really think about how fucked up apologetics is and the people who practice this, again, there is no topic that's off limits. Everything is an opportunity for them to flex nuts, to be the last person standing during a useless and moral-free fucking debate. You should never debate. Again, if it takes you longer than 3 seconds to debate the morality behind the crime of you are either a rapist or you're a Christian apologist or you are both. It's really all that simple, right? I told you, I remember me and my man Peter, who's always spinning the ones and the twos, totally unrehearsed. Because we're sitting there talking to some goddamn apologist and his monkey ass got up there. Hold on, gang, you guys go fuck yourselves. That's why. Let there be light. And again, just this useless back and forth. And I was like, dude, this is not a debate. It's not. And I was like, watch. Peter, what do you think about? Peter said, it fucking blows. I said, you're right. Next question. Totally unrehearsed. See, when you're not kicking the bullshit, when your goal is not to win a debate, but just agree or have a discussion on a very simple topic, that's what happens. But these fuckfaces are so low, so fucking dirty, that there is no topic that you can put on the table to where they won't turn it into an apologetic, opportunity to say, ha, I own the lib epic style, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the bullshit. Like one of my first interactions with SJ. When talking about self-harm, and if I haven't hung the asterisk, let's go ahead and hang the asterisk. There's probably going to be a big trigger warning when it comes to this show. So buckle up. And like I tell the ladies in my self-defense class, self-defense starts right here, right now. And if you don't feel like you are in a space where you can have this discussion, much less physically go through some of these drills, you can walk out. Please go back to the front desk, get your money back, tell them Robert said it's okay. Self-defense starts right here and right now. And gang, if you were not ready to hear some of these topics, tap out. Tap out. But I was talking to SJ about self-harm. Now, gang, if there's one thing I've always said about self-harm, mental health in that regard, it's like the game of football. Football is a game of inches and seconds. Now, all you saw was the running back run for 95 yards down the sidelines. You saw the big play. What you didn't see, what you didn't notice, was that tight end was able to move his butt just a fraction of an inch, totally sealing off that 9 technique. He reach blocked him. You didn't see it, but it literally takes a fraction of an inch to stop a 9 technique from keeping contained. You saw 95 yards. You saw an NCAA or an NFL record. No running back has ever run that far. What you didn't see was that fraction of an inch, that nanosecond, where the tight end was able to move his butt just a little bit faster than that outside linebacker. Same thing with mental health. When you were sitting there and you were on the verge of doing something that you can't take back, inches and fucking seconds. And SJ's, like, just get on your knees and pray. You're like, you dumb bastard. I'm serious. In those 3 seconds it takes you to sit in a room by yourself and talk to yourself, those 3 seconds could have been spent calling a hotline, 911, a friend, getting in your car and going to the hospital. And then she'll bust out some bullshit, right? Well, we have 25 stories of Christians who were riddled with depression, schizophrenia, sociopathic disorders, and all this other bullshit. They tried self-harm 900 times. They said a prayer. They're Christians. They're no longer depressed. They don't even know. Okay, fine. Fuck it. That's what they believe. Can't prove it. That's what they believe. You know what the problem with that fucking discussion? People who are able to follow through with that act, that activity, the one that you can't turn the clock back on, they don't report, right? It's, what is it? The sharpshooter's fallacy, the gambling fallacy. Look at all of my gains while ignoring all of my losses. SJ, you raggedy son of a bitch. You guys talk amongst yourselves there, fuck faces. Hold on. Shit. Told you it's going to be sensitive. All right, I'm black. You guys go fuck yourselves. That's what I'm talking about. Again, being the last person standing in a debate is so important to these fucking idiots that they're willing to turn incredibly sensitive topics into an opportunity to win a debate. Inches and seconds. That's how important some of these discussions are. The crime of RAPE. Can you guys tell I'm trying hard not to get this channel snatched up? I told you, the one thing that me and Jeff Durbin have in common is that we are both legit black belts, high-ranking black belts in 2 very difficult arts. He's a black belt in combat-style taekwondo. I'm a legit black belt in Kajikembo and Shinjumatsu. It's a very difficult belt to earn. I have 7. That means we have heard the same stories. And I told you the hero in this discussion is never me. Do you guys have any idea how much courage it takes to get locked in a room with someone who looks and sounds? These ladies don't know me. They don't. And let's say I'm exaggerating my balls off. I'm not. But let's say I'm actually a 2nd degree black belt, not a 7th. Did I say that? A 2nd degree and not a 7th degree. You're locked in a room with me. Literally, no one can hear you scream. And these ladies have the courage to get locked in a room with me to learn how not to get hurt. And if I teach 10 of those, probably 5.5 out of those 10, we'll do about 5 to 10 minutes out of an hour session doing physical stuff. The other part is, hey, Robert, can I tell you why I'm taking a self-defense class? Yes, you can. And then she will proceed to tell me a story that would make a billy goat throw up. And when you think you've heard it all, this lady's story tells that lady's story. Bitch, hold my beer. It's horrible. Those stories are transformative. Then there's Jeff Durbin, who hears the exact kind of stories I hear and turns it into an opportunity to win a debate. And I've heard him say it. Okay, I mean, it may hurt the nerves in your body. I mean, you may not like it. You may not want it. But if there is no God, what's wrong with 17 guys just raping the dog shit out of your booty hole? Like, what is wrong with you? And I'm serious, gang. This is sitting on some bullshit. That's why I say this only attracts the least amongst us who talks like that. And I can go on forever, but I think in order for me not to have a stroke, let's hit it with the Autobots transform and roll out. What do you see? This bullshit. Fuckface Frank Turek. Fuckface Frank Turek. And now let's go on over here to motherfucking YouTube. This one is entitled, Why Would God Create Special Needs People? Now, gang, do me a favor and please go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Anytime these motherfuckers are pressed up against a wall on a question this sensitive, it's going to come down to, and I haven't seen it, but you know, we don't understand the mind of God. If there is no God, what's wrong with being born with Down syndrome and having a short life and just dying in front of your fucking parents' face? Blah, 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 blah. Did you know that pizza can take a nap? I mean, it's going to be the same bullshit. I totally understand. Way back when we didn't have the scientific method, when we actually thought seizures were demonic possessions, you had to make shit up. Again, like I told you before, the Greeks actually thought the sunrise and the sunset was Apollo putting the sun in the back of his chariot and riding it across the sky. Now, you say that in 2025, you're wearing a white jacket with your arms crossed across your body in a padded room, and people are shoving tapioca and room temperature water underneath the door so that you can have some nutrition. Please go fuck yourself. Once upon a time, we needed to make shit up to explain phenomenons that we didn't have names for, much less how does this happen and all this other stuff. But here comes Turek's monkey ass. Here comes Turek to scoop some bullshit on top of a very sensitive topic. This is what you need to know about people with special needs. If you're the parent, take care of those motherfuckers, right? And while you still can before Trump's completely takes it away from you, use all the financial aid that you could possibly use and get all the therapies, to do all the things you need to do, right? But no, not people like Turek. He's going to sit here and make some shit up and talk about mental retardation, physical limitations, just all this shit that's real world, and then add some bullshit on top of it. Now, gang, this is just going to be sitting on some bullshit. I'm already fired the fuck up. My piss is already nice and hot. Yeah. Cross-examine. Again, the fuckface has over 600,000 followers. And why? So he can kick the bullshit. All right, gang, fuck it. You guys ready? We're going to bleed on this one. Let's roll the tape.
I do want to do it, but I don't. Can we just be honest? I didn't want to lay there all night going, Dad, no. Dad, no. Didn't want to do it.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
So you mentioned the teleological argument. We just spoke about it just, the last person. We understand that it means that that there's an intelligent design with the creation, that God sustains creation.
Pause the tape. Here goes the sad music in the background. He doesn't give a shit about people with special needs. He doesn't. He's getting ready to put on the act because he needs clicks, likes, and attention. He needs to get paid. I mean, give me a fucking break. Roll the tape.
We could also argue that it's because, or that the theological argument speaks on the topic of purpose, that everything has purpose. And we could argue that the ultimate purpose is for glorifying God.
Pause the tape. What a stupid fucking ultimate purpose. Again, the Christian God is stronger than strong, smarter than smart. He's the beginning, the middle, the end. He's all these things. He created a universe so incredibly vast that even with our modern scientific techniques and tools and knowledge, we still don't understand 99% of this shit that's in our, not Earth, not solar system, our fucking universe. God created all of this to create this speck of dust called Earth. And on Earth, he creates this species of apes whose ultimate purpose is to give him a double-handed bobert for an eternity. What a fucked up ultimate purpose. Give me a break. Roll the tape. Jesus.
Let me go ahead and do this. Why does God create people with special needs? Say low-functioning Down syndrome or autism, etc., so forth. If they are supposed to have a purpose to worship, work, and live for his glory, and they can't do that in the way that other people can.
Okay, well, first of all, what does Jesus say to the young man who was born blind?
Are you speaking in reference to how he says...
Pause the tape. Typical Turek. Typical fucking Turek. Answering a question with a question. That's probably completely unrelated to the actual fucking topic. Roll the tape.
It is not his sin or his parents' sin, but rather that the glory of God may be manifested in him. Yeah.
Let me. I'll just use one example. It's not just people with special needs, but it's suffering in general.
Most certainly.
Okay. The scriptures talk a lot about suffering, and the only human being, completely innocent human being, that suffered the greatest.
Oh my God, pause the tape. How long is this gonna fucking take? Just get to your fucking card game. Your 3-card Monty. Your you know, the shell game. Find the queen, find the tricky game. Shut the fuck up. Sad music. I mean, this is the reason why this pisses me off, gang, because again, it is time to stop the fuckery. Okay, fine. You prayed that the New England Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl. Ha, God loves me the most. Fine. That's fucking stupid, but fine. This does not speak on reality one fucking ounce. Doesn't speak to it one fucking ounce. I mean, this is the type of fuckery that makes people, you know, your kid is sick. The fuckface has got 139-degree internal body temperature, bleeding out of every orifice. They're speaking in tongues. No, they're not. They're just fucking delirious. You need to take your kid to a goddamn doctor. But instead, you'll pray the fucking rosary. You'll call a Christian hotline. My kid's demon possessed. This is where this energy starts, gang. This is why this makes me so mad. Roll the fucked up ass tape.
Of course, was Jesus, and that suffering was for our ultimate good. In other words, suffering can bring forth good. But I just remember my grandmother, for example. My grandmother, the last 4 years of her life was bedridden. And people were asking, well, God, why don't you?
Pause the tape. Gang, do you know how, I mean, this is sitting on some bullshit. Let's get over here. I can't look at his fucking face right now. Do you know how dedicated to your bullshit you have to be when now you're going to use the death of your own mama to back your claim? That's no different than Durbin sitting there talking about, well, I mean, what happened to you may have hurt. I mean, you may not have wanted it. It may be slightly uncomfortable. But if there's no God, what's wrong with that? I stand by what I said. Apologetics only attracts the least of us. Just like my mom. I've always said the safest thing for anyone to say about my mom is not a goddamn thing. Don't risk it. On the off chance that you say something fucked up, even though you meant something nice, now I have to rip your face off. And that's not a good look for either one of us. Same thing with my mama. Anyone who knows me, who knows any of my first cousins, just don't. Just don't. Just don't. Right? I'm not going to sit there and use the death of my grandmother to win some goddamn debate. But Turk's not wired like that. He's like, fuck that bitch. I got to get paid. So let me. The last 4 years of my granny's life was straight sitting on some bullshit. I mean, but if there is no God, what's wrong with that bitch being bedridden and then having to use adult diapers? I mean, Jesus Christ died for our sins and the blase and the glade. This guy, Jesus, titty fucking Christ. Roll the tape.
You just take her. What kind of quality of life is this? And my aunt, who took care of her every day for 4 years, grew more in that 4 years than she did in her previous 44. I remember in 2020, the whole COVID year, my father was dying. And he had something called sundowners. You know what sundowners is? You know, when the sun goes down, they kind of lose their personality. They kind of get...
Pause the tape. All jokes aside, this is sitting on some bullshit. Now, again, if someone needs a God or a Jesus or the whatnot to get through tough times, fine. Fine. The reason why I'm not cutting Turek any slack is because he's doing this to get paid. Right? I have zero doubt that he misses his mama. I don't think he's that not human. Probably misses his fucking dad. But at this stage of the game, I know this because he does it with other people's fucking tragedies. It's just an opportunity to make content. Sundowners, whatever was hurting his mama, my mother, my Aunt Mary, my Aunt Sadie. Again, I don't think I've ever gone 365 days without getting a phone call, and I'm not exaggerating, gang. My entire life has been death, right? I mean, give me a fucking break. And I'm not special. I'm sure some of y'all have lived the exact same fucking life, had the exact same path. Your phone rings like, who is it this time? But I've never once kicked the bullshit about death, suffering, and tragedy the way that this guy has. Give me a break. Roll the tape.
Very petrified, and they do erratic things. And my dad would get up in the middle of the night and wander the house. And I remember laying on the floor next to him, and he would try and get out of bed, and I would just put my hand up and say, Dad, you got to stay in bed. And then I'd have to do certain things for him that
no son should have.
And he'd say,
pause the tape. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Again, I just finished telling someone at work not too terribly long ago, actually yesterday. After my dad's, what was that, the bladder cancer, he had this treatment. And gang, straight sitting on some bullshit. Now, I'm fortunate in that, one, I live pretty close to my dad, and two, I don't have any kids or a woman I'm trying to impregnate. Now, there's a reason why I'm telling you this. The treatment was fucked up in that in order to get to the cancer, they put some shit inside of my father. It was like, let's just, for lack of a better term, they injected these radioactive BBs into my father. Now, it's just going to sit there and completely attack, you know, the cancer that's in your bladder. Here's the thing, and this is why I needed to be alone. My father needed to be alone, and I can't go have sex with someone and try to impregnate them because my dad was literally pissing urination. He was. And I had to change my dad's piss bag probably about 7 times a day. And you go, you unhook it, you go to the bathroom, you pour the radioactive piss down the toilet, which stinks. But here's where the fun begins. You flush it. You have to flush it first. Then you have to take bleach. And then you have to pour bleach into the toilet. You have to wait a little while. Then you flush it. Then you have to pour some more bleach. Then you wait. Then you flush it. Then you have to go back and reattach your dad's piss bag. Then you just sit there and you wait for your father to piss some more radioactive urine into that bag so that you can do it all over again. And then while your father's asleep, you know what you have to do? You have to sit there and check the bag. It's a good thing I'm an insomniac. So then you unhook the bag, you do the process all over. Give me a fucking break. And it blows. You want to know why? Because dad had cancer in his body. There's no supernatural explanation. There's no prayer that's going to make that any better or worse. It is what it is. Sometimes a kick in the dick is just a kick in the dick. And coming up with all these cockamamie-ass supernatural explanations for that does not help the situation 1 ounce. All you can do is put your head down and go straight forward in that fucking problem. Period. 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 Now here comes this motherfucker. Again, the reason why I've got no leniency, again, I feel bad for the motherfucker. I know what it's like. But he has spent decades exploiting the tragedies of other fucking people. Right? So, I mean, if there is no God, I mean, you're complaining about slavery. And I mean, if what's wrong with owning niggers? I mean, so what? Your grandfather was beaten over the skull, Bobby, because he wanted to give dead black people proper burials. But if there is no God, what's wrong with, he exploits everyone's fucking tragedy. So if you think I'm going in on him over some shit like this, you goddamn right I am. Because again, treat people. Do not be afraid to treat people the way that they treat you. Now, I'm not going to go knock on his door and make fun of him, but holy shit balls, Batman. Please notice, he has yet to answer the question about people with special needs. Roll the tape.
Nobody should have to do this for me. And I said, Dad,
been there.
You're actually helping me. Because by me having to serve you, you're helping me. Because if life was just all about me and what I wanted, I'm not going to become more like Jesus. If I'm forced to take care of somebody.
Okay, pause the tape. Oh my good God. If this fuckface is getting ready to tell this story, round the bases, tag on third, and if he's going to come to home base and say God created people with special needs to teach everyone else how to be humble so that we can, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Peter, go fuck yourselves. One of the first conversations I had with SJ and fuckface Craig Reed, it was this. And straight up, and long story short, that raggedy bastard, you know what she said to me? God gave us the Holocaust, killed all those Jews so that we can learn after that how to teach Jews with respect. And I was like, you got to be, you are reaching. You are reaching, SJ. I just belch, hashtag unprofessional. I think I still have that clip. I'm not joking. That's what she said. God created the Holocaust so that decades later, it teaches everyone how to treat Jews. Because then I remember my follow-up was, is that what you want to lean on? Because by that logic, God gave us the transatlantic slave trade to teach white people how to treat black people. Is that what you're saying? Before she got a chance to answer, you know what Craig Reed did? Period. That's not fair, Reed. Period. Shut the fuck up, Craig Reed. That's why I called you a fuckface. If this motherfucker is going to sit here and do this whole song and dance to say God gave us people with special needs to teach us how to serve so that we can be like Jesus, holy shit. Roll the tape.
Anybody else. Even though I might not want to do it. I do want to do it, but I don't. Can we just be honest?
Yeah.
I didn't want to lay there all night going, Dad, no.
I didn't want to change my dad's piss bag.
Didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to wipe my mom's ass, but guess what happened?
I grew through going through that. By the way, there's Richard Dawkins and others.
Oh, here we go.
Atheists have talked about.
Here we go.
We should eradicate Down syndrome. In the womb, you find out a baby's down, you abort him, right? You want to, and I think.
Pause the tape. Here we go. Fuck you, Turek. Fuck you and everything you stand for. Again, atheist. Again, at what point, Christians, are you guys going to shut your mouth long enough to hear one of us say Richard Dawkins is not, I repeat, is not our Pope? If Dawkins believes that you should kids with Down syndrome in the womb, that's on Richard Dawkins. You know what I say to that? You want to know what my opinion is on that? Susie, it's your body, it's your meat, it's your call. I'm going to stand over here. I'm going to pour myself another motherfucking cocktail. And I hope whatever you decide is what works best for you. But it's not my body. It's not my meat. It's not my call. Right? Just like what I do with my body. It's not Susie's call. And she can sit here and say, well, what you're doing, I don't agree with. Well, Susie, it turns out I didn't fucking ask you. But again, throwing Richard Dawkins out there like he's the Pope of atheists, that we all say, oh, Dawkins says your motherfuck kids with Down syndrome. What's that, Susie? Man, eliminate that motherfucker. Yeet. I mean, give me a fucking break. He's not our Pope. He's not our leader. If that's what Dawkins believes, then that's on Dawkins. Roll the tape.
Iceland is bragging about that. We've pretty much eradicated Down syndrome. Does anyone in here know a Down syndrome person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know who's abnormal? We are. Not them. They're the most loving people I've ever met. They're special needs. No, we're special needs. We're brats. Right? We're shallow. We're selfish. We need difficulty in this life. It's a fallen world, but we need it. And the scriptures.
Pause the tape. I mean, this is really pissing me off. I mean, on the strength, right? All this bullshit. It's a fallen world, and God gave us people with Down syndrome to teach us how to love. Just shut up. Just shut up. This isn't 1200 AD, right? We've got scientific. Down syndrome people are born with an extra chromosome. Is that how it works? I don't even know what the fuck that means. But there's an explanation for Down syndrome. May not be pretty. It may not be what you want to hear. But why do we have Down syndrome? Because a naked woman listened to a talking snake and then ate an apple. Stop it. Grow up. Roll the tape.
Just talk about it. Paul talks about it building character. James says, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. Does anyone here count it joy when you're trying to hold your dad up all night?
No. Sucks.
I don't.
I loved your answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Edward.
You love no. Okay. Pause the tape in the tape. Let's go back over to StreamYard. Kid, get this piece of shit off my screen. If that's what you found pleasurable, you want it to be convinced by fuckface Frank Turek. I thought that was fucking horrible. Horrible. Gang, Uncle Bob's only giving you one big motherfucking promise. As a result, Uncle Bob's giving you one big motherfucking solution. Fuckface Frank Turek, shut the fuck up. Give me a break. That was horrible. And again, the reason why shit like that pisses me off, because we are talking about real world issues. Real world issues. Again, if you think you need a God to not be just an absolute butthole and hurt people, okay, fine. I don't believe it. Not even with someone as decrepit as Turek. But if he says, I need Jesus so I don't go burning buildings down and just punching random people in the face, fine, keep believing that. Right? I know what happened 1 second before the Big Bang. God said it, so bang, it happened. Right? You want to sit there and pull the fucking Kalam? Whenever it comes to existence, has a cause. Fine, knock yourself out. If you just want to sit here and, how do you know that you don't know that you actually do know that you don't know that the current president's initials aren't BO? They act. I've heard Ty Tim Kate and Eric Hovind say the most ridiculous bullshit. If that's what you want to do, fucking fine. Right? Ray Comfort. Have you ever jerked off all over yourself? Fine. You lost, so you're going to go to hell. Fine. I think it's fucking stupid. I will never entertain that bullshit, but fine. My problem, gang, comes when you start talking about your mystical, magical bullshit for real world issues. Again, when I first got on Twitter and YouTube, it was SJ and the topic of self-harm. I mean, for fuck's sake, you'd be better served saying you can cure those feelings with orange juice. Right. But again, when we talk about shit like that, it is literally a matter of seconds and inches. You don't have time to fuck around. You don't. Again, when your kid is deathly ill. I mean, there was a case, Jesus, I can't remember. I think it was Oklahoma, where after, I think maybe the second or third kid, the judge finally snatched this couple, snatched their kids away from them. You want to know why? Because the first kid, second kid got deathly ill. You know what they did? Dear God, this is sitting on some bullshit. Please cure this motherfucker. Guess what God didn't do? Guess what happened to the kid? Second kid, deathly ill. Dear God, this is still sitting on some bullshit. And I don't even know why I'm doing this. You know, your will be done. And if this little fuck face is supposed to die, then that's just the way the shit works out. But hey, if you wouldn't mind, can you cure this motherfucker? You'll never guess what happened. It took literally like 2 or 3 kids before the judge said, you know what? I don't think you're a good parent. This is what I'm talking about. When we talk about real world fucking issues, it is time to stop the fuckery. You didn't sin, and that's why your kid has got downs, right? Your kid has downs because science. Go ask someone way more educated on the topic. You know what I can tell you? And Joe, if you see this, don't put that shit in my comments. I'm dead serious. Your kid does not, I can tell you what it's not. God. And to sit there, and he did it out and out, say it, but he kind of did. Because that's some SJ bullshit. God gave us the Holocaust to teach us how to treat Jews. Now, you guys think I'm bullshitting? It's on Twitter, and I'm still locked out of my Twitter account because I think I still have the copy of Peter, because SJ went back and nuked all those episodes with atheists that just didn't sit there and jerk her off, right? But she straight up said it. God gave us the Holocaust to teach us how to treat Jews. Turek, sad story, which I've got nothing to make fun of. His mama, his daddy, I've been there. It fucking blows. It infuriates me because he takes advantage of other people's tragedies to get paid. And in my opinion, he's doing the exact same thing with his own family. Straight sitting on some bullshit. But to come around and say the reason why God created, you know, special needs, mental retardation, mental handicaps, whatever the PC term is, please throw it in there. God gave us that so that we can learn to take care of others, so that we can be more like Jesus. Go fuck yourself. That was horrible, horrible. And before I wrap this up, it reminded me, I can't remember his name, but have you guys ever heard of Murderball? Let's just call him John Jones. So Murderball is basketball, a very physical form of basketball played by people who are confined to wheelchairs. And these motherfuckers are sitting there going full speed and wham, he's just knocking people over, right? This dude was an athlete, broke his back, ended up in a wheelchair, and he's making a name for himself by being very, very good at the sport of Murderball. YouTube, don't flag this video. Okay, let's call it pancake so I don't have to say the M word anymore. He became very good at the sport of pancakes. And I was trying to remember, I think it was maybe a Jim Rome interview. And he was talking about, you know, being in a wheelchair and what's that like and the blah. And basically, look, it is what it is. And the one thing he always said, because one, he never accepts help, right? He's like, oh, I'm going to open the door for you. He's like, I got it. Don't worry. I'm in a wheelchair, but I can get through a door. Thank you, but please stop. He said the one thing he hated the most was people, and he's like, I'm in the gym, I'm working out, you know, I'm in the basketball court, you know, running laps in my wheelchair so my arms and shoulders will be in shape for Murderball. I'm practicing hooping and the blase and the flavonoids. And he said, don't you ever fucking say this to someone in a goddamn wheelchair. And people were, oh man, you're such an inspiration to me. And he's like, that's such a fucking insult. Do you think I broke my fucking back and put a catheter in my dick? I can't walk. I have to shit in specialized fashions. Do you think I did all this just to be an inspiration to you? Go get fucked. And he said, I always take it as an insult. I'm not in this wheelchair to inspire you, you selfish bastard. That's what this is like, right? If you're going to sit here and even come close to hinting to God giving us people with special needs to teach us how to love more so we can be like you, can go get fucked. That was straight sitting on some bullshit. All right, gang, the big guys held you long enough. He's signing the fuck off. Gin and truth. Let's go.